Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be continuing What If Naruto Had Cremation, but before we get into today's video, I would please like to remind you all to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you would like. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get right into the video. So after Hinata leaves the Hokage's office, halfway on her way to her house, she stops after sensing Naruto's chakra, and when she turns around, activating her Byakugan, she can see like this massive wall of like heat infused chakra flying right over, like right throughout the Leaf Village. But by the time it got to them, it was calmed down. Well, it was more warm. It wasn't calm. We're not gonna say it was calm. So everyone like in the Hyuga clan and the Inazuka clan that can like sense chakra really good are all like kind of just freaking out because they just hold sense Naruto and he's nowhere near them. So Jiraiya asks Kakashi, can they try to see if they can locate Naruto, and that the last place that they were at when they saw him was the Stone Village. So Kakashi authorizes it, and Jiraiya tries to go there, and he can't. Like, he literally just can't use the Flying Raijin to get there, which starts to irritate him. So he starts trying to like teleport to closer known locations. So he teleports to a small village, roughly about, I'm gonna say like a mile and a half away from the Stone Village. So when they get to that village, when Jiraiya and Hinata and Kakashi and like some Anbu members all teleport there, they realize that almost every Stone Villager citizen is here, and they all look like they just saw like the whole entrance to hell. Like, they all look like they've seen some shit. So as they're walking around and assessing the damage, they see a couple of stone shinobi throwing like their gear into a fire, and Kakashi asks them why are they doing this, and the guy told the stone shinobi told Kakashi that the guy in the mask said that if they just surrendered that they wouldn't do anything, but they attacked us anyway after we surrendered. And the ones that could fight fought to their last breaths, and the ones that surrendered, well, we ran here. Now some of us have been able to control most of the most of the people, and keep some wits about us, keeping some form of order, but these people are scared. And Kakashi tells him that they're gonna see if they can figure out what happened. And like off into the distance, Hinata kind of sees like some cloaked figures walking toward the town. So Hinata immediately taps Jiraiya and everyone that came with them, and they all do like their they all do transformation jutsus. And turns out that the people that were walking toward the village were people a part of Itachi's group, and they came to recruit the town, like the entire town itself. And Hinata was like, surely Naruto wouldn't approve of this. And then the guy removes his hood, proving it to be Naruto. And Naruto goes on to say that these people, that man in that mask, took things from all of you, and the one thing that he wants is this infinite Tsukuyomi thing. So honestly, if we can stop him from getting that, he'll be just like us, stuck here on this planet now, with nothing else better to do but to sit there and wallow in our own regrets. So let's go out there and ruin his life, yeah? And most of the townspeople didn't feel like it at the time because they just finished doing everything, but some of them were willing, and the few shinobi that were around that held some form of status and power in the stone forces agreed to lend their aid and become a part of their organization. So Naruto was like, that's good to hear. And as Naruto's walking away, he stops and he looks back and he looks like directly at the transformation of Hinata. And he was like, I thought I told you to go home. And Hinata like untransforms and was like, what was that? And Naruto was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she tells him about the wall of Nine Tails energy that she felt, like the mixture of Nine Tails and heat and his chakra that she felt all the way at the Leaf Village, which shouldn't even be possible. And Naruto smirks and was like, I'm surprised that that attack actually reached that far and that you were able to sense it from that far away. And Naruto tells her that that has nothing to do with her because she's not a part of what Naruto does. She is only someone that Naruto needs to protect, not someone that Naruto needs to inform. And Naruto begins to walk away again. And Hinata tells Naruto that if she truly doesn't, like, if he wants her to stop trying to get him to come back to the village right now, like, she basically told him that if he could beat her in a fight, that she would stop trying to force him to come back to the village right now. And Naruto accepts these terms and then tells her that she's a little weird for trying to pick a fight with somebody that's clearly stronger than her. But he's not picky. So she activates her Byakugan and she starts running toward Naruto. And Naruto only using killing blows most of the time when it comes to his ability. When it comes to like fighting people that he don't want to hurt, he tends to do hand to hand, which is a bad idea given the fact that Hinata excels at that. So like they're in the midst of their fight, Hinata is currently like just doing Naruto the worst way. But she notices that although she is hitting Naruto, he's not necessarily just like falling over because she's hitting chakra points. He's just standing there. And when she's done doing her like attack, Naruto looks up at her and was like, I'm so sorry. And he waves his hand and she like gets hit with like this massive wall of just blue fire. And it was just hot enough to singe her, like actually give her like some first degree burns on her arms. And Naruto tells her that those should heal, but if you still want to fight, we can. And she gets back up, and for this fight lasted like 5 minutes, and every time she got up, she got knocked right back down because Naruto realized that he can't fight her hand-to-hand combat because, well, she's a Hyuga. They specialize in hand-to-hand combat. So after like the 5th time of her getting knocked down, Kakashi steps in and he tells her that that's enough. This fight's over. And Hinata tells Kakashi that she still has a little bit more fight in her left. And Naruto tells her that If she really wanted to keep fighting, she wouldn't have let herself get burned the first time. And Hinata tells Naruto that that's not fair. He shouldn't get to talk to her like that if she can't tell him to come back to the village. And Naruto looks at her and was like, even if I wanted to right now, I couldn't come back to the village. And coming back to the village, me coming back to the village right now would do nothing but put all of you in harm's way. And I'll say whatever I want to. And he walks off, and Jiraiya grabs Kakashi, and since Kakashi is holding Hinata, they all teleport back to the stone, like not to the stone, but to the Leaf Village. And they send out a scouting party, like a single scout from the Anbu forces, to go figure out what happened to the Stone Village. And when he gets back, he tells them where the Stone Village used to be is just a giant crater. And at first, Kakashi and everyone else could not believe what they were hearing. So after Hinata got healed up a little bit more from the burns, they all go over to, they all teleport back over there, and by that time, their town has already been relocated. So legit, it's a ghost town now. Everyone in it has been relocated to somewhere where only Naruto knows. So when they get to the town, they realize that it's a ghost town, and they start heading toward the Stone Village. And Hinata realizes that this is the same way that Naruto came from after recruiting everyone in the village. After, like, before their fight, this is the path that Naruto came in, like, toward this village. So when they get to where the Stone Village should have been, it was like this massive crater, and like all around the crater was like just charred, was just like ash. And as like the closer you got toward the crater, the worser and worser the surrounding area got. So when they finally got to the crater, they just saw like just all of everything just gone. And even still at that point in time, there were still some blue flames still raging on. And Hinata, noticing the power that Naruto possesses, she's like trying to trick herself into trying to believe that it clearly had to be someone else. And Jiraiya tells Hinata that there was only one other person that could have done this. And Kakashi looks at Jiraiya and was like, these are burn marks. And Kakashi looks at Hinata and tells her that there's only one person that can make blue burn marks like this. And Hinata was like, maybe we should attempt to get the full story from him before we make an assumption. And Jiraiya looks at Kakashi and was like, that's actually a good idea. So let's gather more information before we bring this to his attention. And they like walk away, and Hinata, the entire time, Hinata is in her head freaking out because Naruto could be in some serious trouble, because what it looks like now is they went there to help the village, but then took advantage of the fact that the village people were so weak. So after they get back to the Leaf Village, Kakashi decides to put a specific team together designed to track Naruto's movements. And the people that are in the group are Sakura, Jiraiya, Hinata, I'm gonna say Kiba, and 1010. I'm gonna say 1010 and Ino. Yeah, Ino. And then the bug guy and some more like Joni. Like 3 other like random Joni. So those guys were tasked with watching and trying to gather information on Naruto, while Kakashi made a separate task, like a separate team of trying to figure out what the hell happens to the Stone Village. And this team had a hand-picked leader, and his name, I forgot the fucking his name was. He's the guy that manipulates shadows. I forgot his name. My bad. He goes like, "Oh, this is such a drag." I forgot his name. My bad. So after he gets addressed a point leader, he gets to see firsthand at what the hell happened. Meaning that there's another AMB member that was trained to learn how to use the flying Raijin, and he takes him over there most of the time to see Shikamaru. There it is. So he takes Shikamaru over there to see the crater, and the team immediately starts to begin investigating, and they ask questions for those people that survived the Stone Village attack and started coming back to the area and not being recruited by Naruto due to the fact that they just ran out the village and ran as far away as they possibly could instead of going where everyone else was. So they're getting the stories saying that the Stone Village was overrun, and that the masked man told them that if they just let the Zetsu come in and take their supplies, or if they let the Zetsu come in and take their supplies and dismantle their military, there wouldn't be a problem. But after a few days of no response from the sand, cloud, or leaf villages, the Stone had no other option but to let them in. And when they got let in, they destroyed the entire village. And like around nightfall that same day is when Naruto and his people appeared, and that's when they started leaving the village, because Naruto told them that they could start running now, because anyone that ran before they got there was ultimately stopped and killed. Itachi and Naruto were able to scare off Obito and Madara for the time being. And after Shikamaru got that story from one of the refugees from the Stone disaster, that's what I'm gonna call it, from the Stone disaster, after hearing that story, Kakashi tells them that they should finally bring it up to Naruto, but they should see if Naruto is going to tell them first. And like on cue, a ninja walks into the room and tells them that Naruto is here to see them. And this is where I'm going to end this part off. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like. If y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.